What's this? We're back! A Soween Titanite chunk grinding story. Greetings everyone, it is I, Kokoskio, welcoming you all here to this little extra bonus stream. Because IKEA RimWorld ended early, so we joined Soween at level 136 as we continue our epic adventures. Wow, it's a Kika, I know! Hello again, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, Soween and his amazing pecs. We're about to make ourselves look even more amazing as we're going to switch into our item grinding equipment. Let us put this on so that we can see amazing chin. Let us also put on the prisoner's tatters so we can see amazing chest. Let us also put on the jester's gloves. Where are the jester's gloves? So that we can have amazing gold. And we have that, we have that, we have that, we have that. Fantastic! It's Friday already. What happened this week? No, it's not Friday. Chin of the gods! Daylight saving time I know. Right. Our objective, if we should choose to accept it, is to get enough chunks to upgrade a lot of our stuff. We need to get as many chunks as we can to upgrade our spears, and anything else extra would be good. Mainly we're going for the spears. There is a downside to this, though. That is that we... Oh, how many... Oh, wait, hang on, so... 16 firebombs, that should be enough. Right. The downside is, because we started the game up again, we need to defeat all the statues. Oh boy, I love defeating all the statues! Lied everyone. So yeah, I need to put some thought into what to stream next. Might be Might and Magic 8. Might be a Bethesda game. Probably won't miss this Friday stream. Hey, this helps out, because now you get a little extra stream of me trying to get more chunks. Fear the sound of abyssal worms be slaughtered. Don't worry. We're not going to slaughter the worms. We're here just for the grabby hands. We are here for the grabby hands, nothing more. Stop it. We want the grabby hands. So, got all of you. Oh. That is not one that's active. You're Abadu. Okay, get you. Back up, deal with that poison. Smashing! We're gonna go get more chunks! And we're gonna get more souls while we do it. So, let us take care of you. Now, there are 3 of these. Here's the first one. Oh no, hang on. That's the first. The second one is there. Also, hang on, I forgot there's an item we need to equip, and that is in the shield slot. It needs to be... Where is it? It is... Not that one, not that one. The Watch Dragon Palmer, that's it. That's the one we want. So put this here. Ooh, an item's been dropped. That's incredibly fortunate. It's a large Titanite shard. Not quite what we're looking for, but it is something. Gonna recommend Battletech? The recommendation is appreciated, but I don't know how I feel, how much I want to play Battletech right now. But it is something that's there. Ooh, another item. Rest assured, the one thing I am not lacking for, oh yeah, is suggestions for games. There will always be things that people suggest. Is this a... Yeah, that's one I need to destroy. There we go. I'll just get rid of... Oh, no! You! Get rid of that. Whoa! Alright, now we need to get rid of these ones. So once we get rid of all of these, we'll have no threats! Threats eliminated! Yeah! Titanite chunk number 1. There are only about 10 or 11 games that exist. You are incredibly right. There are only that many. I have never seen other games exist. But in all seriousness, I appreciate the suggestion. I do appreciate it. Let's go. Where's the plus 10? There it is. So now what we do is... we do that, and this. Now the shield on our back increases. Alright, you're forgetting the 13th one. That was it. Yeah, we don't talk about that one, Cav. We don't talk about that one. So now what we do is the really fun part. We just keep refreshing this and fighting these 3 monsters over and over again. To hopefully get Titanite chunks. Because we want Titanite chunks. They are an enemy that reliably gives Titanite chunks. Well, not reliably, but they can give Titanite chunks. I want these chunks so that I can make our armor stronger. And make our weapons stronger. Lightning's 3. Get a grand total of nothing. We do get about 1,000 souls every time. And you know, each set of 1,000 souls is a little bit closer to us getting more stuff. But yeah, I was thinking maybe we do Might and Magic 8. It has been a long time since I've done Might and Magic 8, like in any capacity. It would be fun to play it. It would be fun to absolutely show how ridiculously unbalanced some parts of Might and Magic 8 are. And how weird the game is. Might and Magic 8 is just a really weird game. It's a very strange game. No, not 9. 9 is a broken game. 9 is a broken game. I would rather play 8 than 9. 8 at least is finished. 9 is held together with hopes, dreams, and post-release patches that were made by people that used to work on the game before the company folded. Rather, the company was made bankrupt by the fact that its parent company went broke. I know a lot of people aren't going to be expecting Dark Souls here, but, you know, we got Dark Souls. Dark Souls is not a bad thing to do. If anything else, it means that the next stream of Dark Souls on Friday won't have 5 million years of me grinding out Titanite chunks. That said, PGW, hello, Beholia. That said, Might and Magic 8 had problems. Might and Magic 8 had severe problems, because the Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8 are all done on the same engine. They're all done on the same engine. But the problem is that 3 years have passed in that point. And when Might and Magic 8 came out, it came out in the year 2000. So Might and Magic 8 had to be compared to a lot of games that came out in the year 2000 that really made Might and Magic 8 look pretty bad. Like, technology had advanced incredibly quickly in 3 years. And you can tell that Might and Magic 8 was sort of rushed out the door. It doesn't have that level of polish. 7 was also rushed out the door in many respects, because 6, 7, and 8 all came out within like a year of each other. As in, 6 came out in 1998, 7 came out in 1999, 8 came out in 2000. They all have the same engine. 6 was the rough, let's get everything sorted out and everything ready and first try out the engine. 7 is where they really got into their stride with it and, you know, added some interesting ideas and features. And then 8 is, well, we need to innovate quickly. Get rid of hirelings, but have a 5th companion. But also you can only make 1 companion and you have to recruit everyone else. But also dragons are in the game as a playable race and they are horrendously broken. Horrendously broken. I'm having a drink here, don't mind me. And you can very early on go and get oh, hang on. Is that my mother? No, there you go. But just wondering if my mother was messaging me there. Nothing specific, but you can get a dragon in Might and Magic 8 very early on. Not right at the beginning of the game early on, but once you get out of the first area, you can go get a dragon. And from that moment on, you have a nigh unstoppable force of death, doom, and destruction on your side. Also, we are not going to be wanting for large Titanite shards for the rest of this game. We can just upgrade everything. Everything will be upgraded. Yeah, Fallout 2 you can get power armor early. Just remember, Baldur's Gate also has no sense of balance either. You can get a free suit of Ankeg armor in Nashkel. There's a ring of wizardry in the nook of a tree in the Friendly Arm Inn. On the other hand, if you're a wizard in Baldur's Gate 1, a Gibbling can kill you. Or rats. Rats can kill you because they deal 1 health and you might have only 4 hit points. And so 4 hits from a rat. Oh no, I've had a terrible idea of what I could. Oh no, I've had a terrible idea of what I could stream. Oh no. Oh no, I've had a, oh no. No, oh. Oh no. So remember when a little while ago I said I could stream Ultima 7, I could play Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo? Do you remember I said I could do that? I could do that. That's another chunk. I could play Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo. You see, Ultima 6 for the Super Nintendo is a pretty good game. Ultima 7, however, is ghastly. Hello, I saw you playing Pillars of Eternity on YouTube. Very interesting. Hello, my trader. How you doing? I have been playing Pillars of Eternity on YouTube for a good number of years now. I just finished recording video 260. We are doing some Dark Souls here because we finished playing the IKEA RimWorld run. It was a very interesting ending. So now I get to blab about stuff while I genuinely consider playing Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, this is normally the Friday game, Minor Trader, but I am using this to fill in a little bit of time. I mean, it's going to be rubbish for everyone involved if I play Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo. Are we consider making longer Pillars of Eternity videos? No. Yes, I did, Earthrith. No, I haven't considered making longer videos, because longer videos would not equate to me finishing the game faster. Also, longer videos would also mean that I'm spending a lot longer with everything else. Like, 20-minute videos are quite a nice gap for me, because if I did, say, 40-minute videos, that would double the amount of time I'm spending recording. So instead of recording for an hour on that day, I'd be recording for 2 hours on that day. And... oh no, not Pillars of Eternity. No, not Pillars of Eternity. RimWorld. I finished RimWorld. Yeah, that's why we're playing Dark Souls right now. But, a lot of things that, it's difficult to know without making content is that, hello, Kinchet, the shortest part of making content on YouTube is the recording part. That's the shortest part. I spend longer on a video editing it than I do recording it. That gap has been a little bit shorter thanks to the newer microphone, but it still takes much longer. You know how much longer Pillars of Eternity has in it? No. I've never played it before, so I have no idea how much longer it has. Can't tell you. Don't know. But, say if I start recording at, say, 8 o'clock, I could finish recording at, say, 9:15, and I can be still editing videos after midday. Take like an hour and 10 hour, 15 minutes to record, and then it could take me double, or over double that time to edit. So if I doubled the amount of time each of those videos were, it would double again the amount of time it would take to edit them. It's a balancing act. Halo 2 is an experiment right now in doing some form of longer content. And we'll see how that goes. Then again, Halo 2 is a game where I can do that because it's separated into very easy to distinguish sections, as in the levels. I did that with Rise of the Triad. I decided I'd do one level, at least one level per video. Sometimes it was multiple levels per video, but often it was one level of video. Some of the videos were 9 minutes long. Some of them were 50 minutes long. Or 40 minutes long. Oh, not a chunk. That's a shame. It's all a balancing act. I know a lot of the... I know there's a... Good idea. A video tip. Not to upload. For me, actually, I'm fortunate enough that I have very fast internet. It doesn't take me a long time to upload a video. That's the one thing that doesn't take a lot of time. Like, even a VOD that's like 3 hours long, if I need to upload it, will only take me about 12 minutes. The Game Boy game videos. Hello, Adoration. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. The Game Boy videos, they can take literal seconds. Yeah! So, the thing is, I know that there are advantages and disadvantages to doing each different way of doing content. If I make the shorter videos, you get a bit of content every day, but also the progress is slower. If you do longer videos, the videos are longer. So, you know, when you get a video, it's an incredibly long video. But also, there won't be the videos in between. And also, some people do get intimidated by much larger videos. Some people go, oh, a 20-minute video, I'll watch that. But they'll go, oh, it's an hour? It's like the creeping scale of time. Like 5 minutes extra per video may not seem like a lot, but when you go 5 minutes per video, you're doing 9 videos. That's an extra. The grain difficulty you got critical role, yeah. So like you're doing at least an extra 40, nearly an extra 50 minutes of just recording. 0 minute video, like, oh, 820-minute video. I can watch that during my lunch break. Yeah, 20-minute video you can watch during a lunch break. Some viewers like, well, that's why I have both. I have Twitch VODs and I have Twitch VODs and I have YouTube videos. Also, I have playlists. I have incredibly good, comprehensive playlists of... Yeah! I have incredibly good, comprehensive playlists of games that I've played in the past. Literal... Oh, we already have 4 chunks. Excellent. Like, games that I've played in the past, I have full, complete playlists. Pillars of Eternity is absolutely going to be my longest playthrough, by far. And then people go, when are you going to do 2? And I'm like, probably not for a good while, because, oh boy, 1 was long. Very long. Yeah. I try my best. People sometimes tell me, you've got something wrong on a playlist, and I go, oh, okay, I'll change it. Like, I'll change it. I can imagine Darkest Dungeon being the longest. I can imagine that. Right, if you give me one moment, folks, I'll be right back, and then we shall continue getting more stuff and blabbing about things. Yeah. Nee. Nee. Smashing! So, Ween is back. In Pog form. Yeah, that's right. Striking while the iron's hot with all those awesome trends. If we do really well, he might become a Tazo. God, I'm so old. I can make jokes about Pogs and Tazos, and most people don't know what they are. I remember Pogs. Yeah, most people don't. Slowly transforming to dust. These things are probably annoyed that I keep attacking them. I still do have a Pog collection because the store that took all of my old Pokemon cards and Boglins would not buy my Pogs. They would not buy my Pogs. My Pogs remain unpurchased. They wouldn't take them. It is a shame, but what can you do? See what I can do. Keep my beloved Pogs. Yes, indeed. We finished, Supreme Member, we finished playing IKEA RimWorld, so we are just getting some Titanite chunks in Dark Souls 2. Not doing any progress today, it's just Dark Souls 2 and me rambling about what I might potentially play next, and the various, like, intricacies of content creation and other such stuff. And we get to see more of Sir Ween's amazing pecs. We're doing pretty well when it comes to items. We have 5 chunks already. We have 5 chunks already. And my partner is looking around for the cats. One moment. My partner wanted the cats, so she has gone in search of the cats. Apologies for that. Do you like SM? I don't know what you're referring to when you say that there, Minor Trader. Oh, how are the shingles doing? They're moderately... They're getting better. They're getting better. It's receding. Oh, is that machine gun? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Oh, you're not referring to a type of firearm, you're referring to something else. Oh no, you are referring to that. Oh. Yeah, I have no opinion on them, because... Yeah, I sometimes do that area. It depends on the game. Right now, I'm not playing a game where that is something I can do. Except maybe Halo. I have been enjoying playing that. That is not what I'm looking for. But there we go. Ran over here. Look at all the exciting stuff here. But the fun part is, I think I said it in the last Dark Souls stream, I can absolutely do this. I could do a 3-hour stream of doing this. I'm the person who likes hunting for shinies and does not mind the, like, repetitive motion of either looking in a place for shinies or getting the eggs for shinies. It was absolutely something that I could do as a background activity. While I'm talking to people or watching a thing. Whoa!
Is that? Yes, Mr.
Thank you, Observer Watcher. That is 2,500 bits. Hopefully you'll fully recovered soon. I've watched your Arcanex's engine. Here's cheer. Thank you very much, Observer Watcher. That is ridiculously kind of you. That is ridiculously kind of you. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. Like, it's a weird thing. Because in, say, Quest for Glory, the grinding for stats is a part of the game. And the interesting thing is, you don't need to... I've done that. In a sense, going for shinies can be going for the 1 in 1,000 drop. It can be. Depends on the game you're playing. It can absolutely be going for a 1 in 1,000. It can be less, but it can also be that. I've done that before. Did it in World of Warcraft, I think, with my Starter Edition character. Going for incredibly rare pets. Oh, that's not a chunk. I know what the odds of getting chunks are here. Definitely not 0.1%. Definitely not 0.1. I will not, by the way, be spending the souls in this stream. How goes the grind? It goes relatively well, thank you. We just finished playing a RimWorld playthrough, and in this small amount of time, well, the time before the end of my normal stream thing, we're just going to go get some more Titanite chunks. Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, I've done that. It was a long time ago, though, since I played World of Warcraft. Don't think it's something I'm ever going to go back to. Like, in general, MMOs are something I don't really play much anymore. I just don't have the itch for them. I just don't. Other things instead take my time. That's fine, because, you know, MMOs are still there if I want to play them. It's been an incredibly long time since I've played the old school RuneScape 3 has been a good while. I briefly played Guild Wars 2, but then stopped. There have been a few others. I remember a time when I played Entropia Universe. That was a very, 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 very long time ago. Never played that again. For a very long time. I played it back when it was called Project Entropia. I had a, like a keyring thing to protect my account. That has since broken. The card is gone, so I could never log in anyway, even if I wanted to. Not that I'd want to. And you're gone. God, it'd be so much harder to do if I wasn't using magic. I love using magic. Magic's amazing. You ever happen to play one called Neo Steam? Nope. Never played that one. I have not played a huge amount of MMOs. I remember very, very briefly playing a game called The Forthcoming. Even back then, it wasn't a very busy game. Played that free to play, as it were. In the very small windows in dial-up when you could play it. I think it still exists in some form. It's always interesting when I remember dial-up. Well, still get it in quite a lot of places. Starlink, however, has made dial-up a lot less useful for places, but there are still some places where dial-up is one of the more stable methods of getting internet. Not many in England, but there are a few. Now. Well, everything in a way is a time black hole. Playing Dark Souls is a time black hole. Painting models is a time black hole. Painting models and 40k and everything is a massive time black hole. I spent a fair amount this afternoon assembling models. Sleep is the time black hole to beat all time black holes. I'd have to pay money for that, though. Yeah, I wouldn't... It sounds weird, but I wouldn't want to pay a monthly subscription to an MMO. Especially, it would make me feel like I'm obligated to play it. And with quite a lot of them, if you're not spending money, you're spending time to get the in-game money. You ask, how is painting models going for you? Well, what are you working on currently? Painting models is going great. You can often see the progress of my models on social medias like Twitter, Blue Sky. I sometimes put them up on my YouTube community, but I also put them up on my Discord. But yeah, it's going great. I think I'm working right now on a, hang on a moment. Ugh, bless me. Sorry, I sneezed there. But, I'm spending time working on my... Oh, hang on, did I just... I accidentally, prodded my foot with something there. Something on the floor. But either way, spending my time working on some, Relic Terminators for my Primaris chapter. That is what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Just needed to see what it was. I have a lot of projects to be working on. A lot. Well, that's no bad thing, having a lot of choice on what to do. What's a shard? Can we get a chunk? No! Game says, how many chunks do I have now? 48! That's a lot of chunks. Oh, rather slabs. Reread your posted message and had a bad typo in it? Meh. That's fine. I have typos everywhere. To err is human. To derp is also Kiko. To derp is Kiko, to doofus divine. Yeah. We all make mistakes, but one of the things that makes life wonderful, that there are imperfections. Flaws. Foibles. Yeah! Oh. Absolutely, everyone makes spelling mistakes. Everyone does. See what you did there. I see what you did there. It's going to be quite warm next Wednesday for me. Right now I think it was predicted to be 32. Pardon me. Sniffly. Sinuses aren't behaving. They often don't. Well, can that be a chunk? I'd really like that to be a chunk. Chunk? Oh. This will at least get me a couple of levels. Levels aren't a bad thing. How many levels will we currently get? 2. They could get our endurance up to 16. Give us some more stamina. Eventually we'll have all the stamina. Then we might actually work on getting some health. That might not even be a bad thing, getting more health. Look at Kiko thinking about stuff and things. But yeah, I have a lot of armies to be working on. I have, you know, to be fair, the firstborn army. Ooh, ant bites. Ugh. That was something a lot of people said to me. They went with the shingles. Watch out about itching. And I'm like, oh, that's the one thing I have a lot of experience with dealing with. Also, there's a face in that wall. You can't see it now. Goes that face. But I have a lot of experience with dealing with itchy skin. Eczema. That's why I originally thought it was either, you know, a flare-up of eczema or heat rash. And I was like, no, this is not either of those. Oh, you want to know what I had for dinner today? My partner was incredibly generous and bought for both me and her arancinis. Ooh, yeah! Got a good bit of luck there. Well, it wasn't itching. That's the thing. It wasn't itching, because that's the great thing about having a disease or an illness. The symptoms may be such and such and such and such. You don't get all the symptoms sometimes. Sometimes you get none of the symptoms. Sometimes you're just asymptomatic. You have none of the symptoms, but you have the thing. This can happen. But yeah, I didn't get any itching. It was uncomfortable though, because it was sensitive. And it looks just like, you know, like, talking of models and painting, I've got some Battletech minis that I need to get around to painting, but I have no idea what costume to use. How did you come with your... Okay, how did I come with the colour schemes for my army? Go, it's rough for a brief time I had symptoms, but people can get... Some people can, yeah. I didn't, when I eventually got it, years later. How did I come up with my... Okay, I, for the Avatars Resplendent, took inspiration from a person who had made a kill team of Space Marines that were each a colour of the LGBTQ like flags, because pink, yellow and blue is one of the flags, and I tried to emulate that colour scheme, but the colours they used didn't quite work for me. So I have a slightly mixed version of Doomfire Magenta to get the pink, and the... Yeah! Dino chunk. And the blue, I had to pick something different, but you know, pink, yellow, blue. And it's also very neon-esque for like a Neon 80s theme. Whereas the Marines Extreme, I wanted a bit of the pink, so the pink was there. I wanted... oh, another chunk! I wanted some yellow, and then it was green, and then I realised I'd accidentally made the colour scheme for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air logo, which is incredibly 90s. My colour schemes for those chapters are bright. They're, for some people, garish, but it's what I want to paint, and ultimately it brings me joy. And that's the most important thing. Yeah. Just go with what you think works. There's no wrong answer. As long as the scheme you're coming up with doesn't literally... Oh, no, no! Ooh. Don't you do that. I do not want to die in a stream where I'm just trying to get chunks. Oh, camera. But as long as your paint scheme or color scheme you're doing literally doesn't offend people by being offensive, then it's fine. Now I want to do some Iron Man red. Yeah. There are two ways you can go about, or 3 ways you can go about it, Freelancer. 1, you look at a color wheel and you find colors that either complement or contrast, depending on what you're going for. 2, you can look at references either in lore or from other people's creations. Or 3, just go with your gut. Go with what you think looks good. Because remember, the models are yours. You've ultimately got to look at them on a shelf. You've also got to look at them on a shelf and go, yeah, this is what I want to make. It might be. Just try it out. Like, don't put it on the model. Paint it out on like a piece of paper or something. See how it goes. Or find a bit of disposable sprue or something and paint it on there. That was Cav's idea to me on how to, like, discover what a paint scheme will look like. You know, at some point I need to paint my first edition army. At least that one won't be a very long paint. It'll be a very quick paint to the first edition army. At some point, get around to it. Have like a project, just go, yep, time to paint this squad up and this squad up and this squad up. See, the interesting thing about, like, painting is that a lot of people will say, here's, like, the way to paint a model, and if you're painting any other way, you're doing it wrong. No. If the way you're painting a model works for you, then it is the right way to paint a model. Like, a lot of people say you should do this, or you should do that, or you should use this method, or you should use that method. If the method you're doing works for you and you're happy with it, do it. My colours technically clash. Pink and yellow and blue are quite contrasting. They're very much contrasting to each other. But that's fine. There we go. 60,000 souls, by the way, getting close to 3 extra levels. Those 3 points of stamina will make, or 3 levels of stamina will make a difference. Yeah, you can certainly make some incredibly interesting combinations. I'm going to be sad when I'm not painting models that are primarily pink. It's going to be a sad day, but you know what? It's also going to be a day that will eventually come. Eventually I will look at my models and go, I don't need any more avatars from Splendent, outside of, you know, the occasional character that comes about. I'm already coming up with incredibly ancillary, like, extra models, like the Hunter Stalker tank, some Devastator Centurions, and a unit of Relic Terminators. How much chunks do you need? Yes. Realistically, we're looking at... that one needs 6 chunks. This one needs 5 chunks. and that one needs 6 chunks. And in theory, that one needs 6 chunks. So 23 chunks are needed in the long run, and I have 9. So 15. But there's no, like, hard number. I'll get as many as I get in this stream, get more in the pre-stream of the next stream, and then carry on. If I can get enough for my weapons, my 2 tridents, that'll be enough for now. Because then I can make them plus 10 weapons. And that would be pretty good. That'd be pretty awesome. You know, there's one knight that I'd really like to make. I'd really like to get the Knight Defender. Because it's the really cool one that has the conversion beam cannon. But that's a thing for a lot later in life. I have a colour scheme in mind for it too. It would be a relatively easy one to paint, but as I said, I have more than enough projects to be worried about. I need to finish more of my projects before I buy more projects. I say as I look at my 2 Terminus Ultras. I'm giving myself years worth of projects here. I also have to build my partner's Stomper. Which is a task I will do gladly, because it's a Stomper. We are a Stomper supporting household here. We like Stompers. What is a Stomper? How do we know enough Titanite? I'll check. What is a Stomper? A Stomper is an absolutely massive orc war machine that stomps. Therefore, it is a Stomper. Orcs do not have complicated names for their things. It stomps about, therefore it is a Stomper. Yeah, I don't really want to mess with that amount of resin. I've messed with more than enough resin. I don't want to mess with an entire massive dreadnought's worth. They probably don't. I don't think they sell Mega and Mecha Dreads anymore. They sell Gorka Naughts and Morkanauts. I know they sell them. Not quite the same thing, though. The thing I'm the most sad about is Grot Tanks. Unironically, if they had kept Grot Tanks and Grot Mega Tanks, you could have convinced me instead to have made a Grot army. I'd have done it. I'd have made a Grot army. It would have been glorious. Kind of, but also kind of not. It's interesting. Hi Kiko, I'm not very familiar with Dark Souls 2. What do you use the Titanite chunks for? I'll be using them to upgrade my gear art. My gear needs to be upgraded with either Titanite shards, large Titanite shards, chunks, and eventually slabs. The more you upgrade your gear, the better it is. Either armor gets higher defensive stats, and melee weapons get better offensive stats. Yeah. Makes weapons more weapony and armor more armory. Exactly right. We finished playing... No problem. We finished playing RimWorld early, so I'm just here now doing this while we ramble about other stuff. The interesting thing is that my knight army, because I collected a knight army by accident, is a free blade army. So every single knight in the army has a different color scheme. They all have a different color scheme. Yes, I'm not even kidding. I will explain the story about the accidental knight army. So, it started off with a single knight, so that I could make a free blade knight to ally into my space marines. That's what you do. You can have like a knight join in as an allied unit. Okay. Then I eventually thought, well, I can get armigers in. It's either one knight or 3 armigers. I went, okay, I can get 3 armigers. So let's buy armigers. They come in boxes of 2. Therefore, I need to get 4 armigers. Not an army yet. Not a big army, anyway. Then I traded in all of my Pokemon cards and the Boglins, and that gave me a huge amount of store credit in that store that I could spend on something. And there was the Knight Dominus, which can be turned into a Knight Valiant or a Knight whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, guess I'm buying this for like £30. And it was at that point that I realized that I was basically 1 knight away from getting a knight army. It's like, oops, 1 knight away. Ergo, knight army. And that's how I got a knight army by accident. Haven't used them yet. One day I will. One day I'm sure I will. Am I going to be vastly overleveled for whatever's coming content-wise in Dark Souls 2? Probably. Is that going to matter? No. I have heard the DLCs in this game are... buy more and save? I have a knight army already. I have 3 knights and 5 armigers. That's pretty much a knight army. One day I might get another knight. Don't know. Haven't decided. No, not really. I will one day get there, and if I do want to know stuff, I'll ask then. I don't want stuff in advance. I know where to access a few of them. All I need to know is that each one has the potential to kill me, and that will not be... It won't be at all. Oh no, combat! That ruins everything. I didn't know there would be combat in my Dark Souls game. Now what? Oh, I don't know why I fired a third time. Oh, why don't they drop things? I want things. I also want stuff. Game doesn't give me stuff or things. Alas and woe. What game should I play after a mod? Not sure. Though I have had the incredibly terrible idea, Observer Watcher, of playing through Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo. Because apparently I want to punish myself. I mean, as long as the thingamajig can upgrade my items. Or a whatchamacallit. Or a thingy-badoodle or whatchamacallit. Really? Sell or trade things for stuff? No. Not Ultima 7. Also first. Yeah, Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo. For the Super Nintendo. Yes. Not the good one. The bad one. They're good too, Magma. Not the one that's on the PC that everyone's like, this is a groundbreaking game. No, the one they made for the Super Nintendo. That cuts out lots of things and absolutely unequivocally changes the combat engine. That's Amaranth there for 4 months. Thank you ever so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you. You posted the great and amazing dance, Imakuni. I don't know whether to thank or blame videos having played through the entire series. I can't say. Is this like Mega Man 2 for the PC? Oh no, this is much worse than Mega Man 2. No, it doesn't have Super in the title. It's called Ultima 7, but it's for the Super Nintendo. It doesn't have Super in it. Ultima 7 was the first series I watched. Yeah, looking back at it now, it's like... It's an LP of its time, but also I enjoyed playing it. Would I go back to Ultima 7? Maybe, but be prepared for it to be like 5 million videos long. Because it would be. It would be long. And I don't know what I'd honestly do different. Yeah, well, here's the thing for you. Watch the Doom 3 LP, then watch the replay. And you will see what time does. The differences. The many differences. It was surprising how different it was. Oh, did they? Interesting. There was some. It's just different, you know, because... Oh yeah, another Titanite chunk! We now have 11 of them! That's enough to upgrade both my weapons, so anything else we get during this stream is just a bonus. And how long do I have? A good while yet. A good while yet. No, don't travel, that'll mean we have to destroy all those statues again. We do not want to destroy all these statues again, not until next Friday. Yep. Yep. Excellent. Excellent. I've done a lot of LPs. It's always interesting when people go, oh, I love this LP you did, and do you remember this and this in it? And I have to most of the time go, no. You know, it's time to take my antibiotic. Let's do it now while I'm still thinking about it. Let us take an antibiotic. Folks, important PSA. If your doctor gives you a course of antibiotics... Cav reminded me of this piece of information. If your doctor gives you a course of antibiotics, take the full course. Even if you think you look fully better, no. Finish the course. If you are told, here is a course of things, take it all. Take it all. In the case of antibiotics, you're making sure that the thing you have in you is 110% dead so that it doesn't develop a resistance to the antibiotic that you're taking. Always finish them. You never know. It may happen. It may happen, Melusine. The wizard from Ultima 9 who turned himself into a bird lives rent-free in my head. That is a statement I never thought I would hear in my life, but, there we go. Also, I will note that an absolute champion, and I've forgotten who their name was, but an absolute champion went, hey, I have, after watching your playthrough, gone through and extracted every single voice line in the game, and I have made a spreadsheet which has every single line and who said it, so that you can quickly look for a line and find that voice line. So I have every single one. So I can indeed find the line that says, surely you're not going to go adventuring without clothes. I think your clothes are in the bathroom across the hall. Or the amazing, look at what you just did. Did you not see that pile of dirt? You just kicked and spread it all over. See, I was saving Britannia, but to her, I was the Guardian. I was the truest menace to society. There was no one worse than me. Hey, there are some people out there doing amazing things. Like getting every single voice line in Ultima 9. It's a great piece of work, that. We're going to have like 100,000 souls, which give me about 5 levels in stamina. That's going to give me a lot of extra stamina. That extra points of stamina might be the difference between making a roll or casting an extra spell. Health? Meh. Health is absolutely our dump stat, it would seem, in this playthrough. We have absolutely been dump statting health for a long time. Ever since we got seriously into magic, intelligence and faith. That's what we've been building toward. We might want to buy some spells from the lady who sells miracles. That might not be a terrible idea to buy her spells at some point. Might not be a bad idea. Just buy every spell, all the spells. Oh, that guy! Did you know you can save him? You can save him! He is not scripted to die. If you cast a spell on him that gives him slowfall, he will live, and if you talk to him, he says, I don't want to talk about it. Somebody thought about that. They went, oh, can you save this guy? Yes. Yes, you can. Okay. Get you, and then again. If I don't save him, I get the best hat in the game. That's true! It is a good hat. It is a pretty good hat. You do know that if one day I play that game on stream, I will play, quite possibly, the most awful of everything. I don't know what class I'd play, or what playstyle I'd go for. I don't know. Uncertain is I. That's true, they do. They also begin with cliff races. They also end with cliff races. And the middle part is also mostly full of cliff races. Did you know that Morrowind has a lot of cliff races? Did you know you can set them on fire? That's neat. I have a counter question. Why would I want to? Well, now you remember cliff races. You're welcome. It does, but it also means that I have to go into the fire to pick up the items. I don't mind missing on attacks. It's a very D&D thing. There's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like. Nobody's... Bethesda's not going to go over to your house, kick your door down and say, no, you are playing Morrowind wrong. And we're definitely not going to do it with Daggerfall, because Daggerfall's freeware, as is Arena. Oh, why would they? It's Morrowind. I think you'll find the only thing that gatekeeps you from accessing parts of the pot, Final Fantasy, is levels. There are enemies you do need to fight, though. So you have to be prepared for that. Gonna have to be prepared for that. Come on. Get rid of you, and then you. Gonna have some more chunks. Over the day to have all three of them drop chunks. We wait for that sparkle beneath them, but it never appears. It never appears, folks. There's 41 of you here. Thank you ever so much. That's so kind of you. Oh no, don't do that. Don't leave. Don't leave. Post their own wishlist link, but don't leave. So, Ian, if you do that, it would be terrible. Dark Souls easier than Daggerfall to do well in? Depends. I will say that you can absolutely build your character wrong in Daggerfall. You can absolutely build it wrong. You cannot build a character wrong in a way that breaks the breaks the game in Dark Souls. Because in Daggerfall, if you set up your skills incorrectly and level up things that don't make you better at combat... Oh no, it's not that. Like, all skills in Daggerfall have a use. It's just some of them aren't combat skills per se. Like, what language skills do in Daggerfall is give you a chance when you meet that type of enemy rather, to pacify them. Which is not a direct damage skill. Like, if you pick a character that can't fight, and you keep leveling up, eventually you are going to encounter enemies that will just destroy you. You need to have some capability to fight, whether it's melee skill, archery, magic, or a combination of them. There is no pacifist run of, like, easy pacifist run of Daggerfall. Because eventually you will have to go into specific dungeons, and there will be bad things in there, and you won't have a fun time. Also, we're nearly 200,000 souls. Considering we started at 8,000 souls, we've earned just under 90,000 in this. Also, do I have the... oh, the window's open. Whoops. I've had the window open all this time. That was silly of me. Next door will have heard all of my stuff. I'm not sure they're that bothered. This is when they are incredibly bothered. I realised this because I heard the dog. I heard a dog from outside and went, "Oh, oops." Now the world knows my secret that I've barely kept hidden. Up here we go. Around the corner. You know, I'd be surprised if there aren't grooves in the floor where we run. I'm surprised there aren't just grooves in the floor. But no, I think it'll be Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo. We've been playing too many good games recently, clearly. It is time to suffer. You never figured out how to leave Privateer's hold. Oh. So you're like, this is a weird game. You spent your entire game in Privateer's hold. I think someone made a video of, like, what can you do while you're in Daggerfall if you don't leave the city of Daggerfall. Or is Ultima 2? I did try Ultima 2. I found it deeply unenjoyable. It really didn't click with me, Ultima 2. Maybe I was just getting it wrong, but oh my, did I not enjoy it. I really tried to make that game work for me, but it just didn't gel. And that's me saying that when Ultima 1 gelled. Ultima 1 is a weird game, though. Ultima 1 is a strange experience. Can we get some more chunks? No. No. I'll never say never about going back to Ultima 2, but it really isn't on my list of top priorities. Yeah, the Ultima series is weird. I mean, we haven't got to Ultima 3, where you have, you know, elves and dwarves and bobbits and fuzzies. Good old bobbits. Clearly the true power behind the Guardian was a bobbit and a fuzzy. Yes, that is indeed the same game where the floor attacks you. And also the same game where the way to defeat the final villain is punch cards. That'd be Serpent Isle. That would literally be Serpent Isle. The 1.5 game in the Armageddon series of the arc of the story. Ultima 1, 2, and 3 are the Age of Darkness. Ultima 3, 4, and 5 are the Age of... I think it's either Enlightenment or the Avatar. And then Ultima... so Ultima 4, 5, 6 is that. And then Ultima 7, 8, 9 is the Age of Armageddon. Because the Guardian only appears in the story in 7. There's no over... in 1, the villain is Mundane. In 2, the villain is Minax. In 3, the villain is Minax and Mundane's creation Exodus. In 4, there is no overarching villain. In 5, the villain is Blackthorn. And in 6, the villain... there is no overarching villain? Okay, the overarching villain in 6 is Misunderstandings. Yeah, it is, but that's also in the Age of Armageddon, so that makes sense. In Ultima, it makes sense that it's the Guardian, because the Guardian's basically the villain in all of them. In 7, 8, and 9's era. Yeah. So, yeah, you are the Stranger, and the Stranger is from Earth. A lot of characters in Ultima are from Earth, actually. Lord Bridges is from Earth. Yolo and Queno are from Earth. Sentry is from Earth. And a lot of the characters that are from Earth age a lot slower. Because the passage of time between Earth and Britannia is very different. You, every time you arrive on Caesarea, which eventually becomes Britannia, and you leave, every time you come back as if you arrived the first time. So physically, that's 7 fantasy. That's getting to the debug room on top of the blacksmith's house. So every time you go back, you come back as if it is the first time you've arrived, which is a good way of explaining why you're always low level when you come back. Yeah. But also, because time flows differently between the two realms, between Ultima 6 and Ultima... yeah! Tiny chunk. Between Ultima 6 and Ultima 7 is 200 years. It is not 200 years on Earth, but it's 200 years in Britannia. Martian Dreams and Savage Empire are weird. They're kind of in the series, but also kind of not. They're kind of like tangent games. They're very much tangent games that are a bit weird. The thing to always remember about the world of Ultima is that although the Avatar is the only person in Britannia to become an Avatar, anyone could become an Avatar. We were only called the Avatar because we're the only one that managed it. I wish games would have the previous protagonist be the mentor in the sequel. It does sort of happen in Amber Moon that you do go to your incredibly ailing and dying like character from the previous game and you're like their grandson or something. I think you are in that game. But it makes sense in Ultima for it to be the same person. It makes sense because it makes the Avatar a near mythological figure. Because, you know, 200 years passed between 6 and 7. So, most people have never seen the Avatar. So when you claim you're the Avatar, people won't believe you quite often. Because the Avatar hasn't been seen for 200 years. So a lot of people go, yeah, right, you're not the Avatar. Like, some people know. Lord British knows. Your companions know. Other people that are well-learned know. Most people will be like, oh, it's just the guy who says the Avatar. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And also remember, the Avatar is, hey! Excellent, Locanus. Remember that the Avatar is not invincible. For all of his power of virtue, he is just... Yeah, but you could forge a certificate. He's human. He's from Earth. So because... Well, there's two things. One, because he's from Earth, he lives longer. Two, it's not expressly stated in Ultima 9, but the Lord British's health and vitality is intrinsically linked to the health of the world. So, although he looks very old in Ultima 9, that's because Britannia is suffering. And it was not meant... Yeah! No, Chunk. It's not stated explicitly, but it's implied that were Britannia to heal, Lord British would also be rejuvenated. In theory, Lord British will reign forever. Shamino is also a character that many people believe is immortal. Yeah, but generally, humans from Earth age at a different rate. Well, yeah, it should do. Because you save it in 9. YOLO Steve. Well, YOLO continues to get, like, they live a long time, but they're not eternal. Like, YOLO is incredibly old by the time you get to Ultima 9. YOLO is incredibly old. But yeah, other people... Yeah, it is very in line with Old Monarch and their Kingdom of One. That is because, in part, lots of characters in Ultima had real-world equivalents. Like, YOLO and Gweno are based after people, Sentry's based after people, Dupree. Shamino and Lord British are based after Garriott. They're both based after Garriott. It's never immediate, Malusai. There is a time, there's like a gap that occurs. And he isn't called that many times. Yeah, I believe my partner plays that game. I quite like it. Like, he's only ever called 9 times. No, actually, less than that. 8 times. Because he's called him 1, but at that point he's not the Avatar, he's just the Stranger. He arrives in 1 to help defeat Monday. He is kind of rescued in 2 because time-altering shenanigans with Minax. He's then called in 3 to defeat Exodus. Then he arrives in 4 with the Quest of the Avatar. He is then called in 5 to... because Lord Richard's gone missing, and there's the Banes, and Blackthorn. He's then deceptively summoned in 6 with the Gargoyles trying to sacrifice him. And then he is brought to Britannia in 7, sorry, to deal with the Guardian and the interference of magic and everything else. He is not called for Serpentile because he's still there, because he destroyed the Black Gate, which meant he couldn't go home. And in 8, he was pulled out of the ether, effectively, by the Guardian and thrown on Pagan. Then he escapes, the time passes, and 9 happens, and you go back again. So you're only there 8 times. Oh, another chunk! How many chunks do we have now? 15! That would be... I think after 5? I think after 5, you come back and you find out your house is burgled. There was a little thing in 9 that I really appreciated, and that was when the Moongate appears to take you to Britannia, and the Guardian realizes you're coming and sends a monster to get you, but he sends the wrong kind of monster. He sends a Gazer, which was the worst type of monster he could send to come and get you. Aha, I will send this creature that is incredibly, dependent on the presence of magic to Earth, a place that has incredibly scant magic. And so it just dies after a few hits because no magic, yo. I mean, the logic was sound, it was just the wrong creature. Send an ogre. Well, no. The Gazer fires, magic beams. That's its attack. It fires magic beams at you. An ogre is just big and strong. It doesn't need magic for that. Yes, the Guardian is not super familiar with Earth. No, ogres are not magical creatures, I don't think, in Britannia. They're just different. Yeah, it's basically based off, a D&D setting. And in that, ogres aren't magic. They're just different humanoids. Now, if they'd have sent a headless or skeletons, that would have been different, because, you know, headless don't have heads. They're very weird and somewhat magical. Skeletons are skeletons. Or a ghost or a spectre. They could have, but who'd believe him? They'd be like, hey, who are you? What ID do you have? Oh, no ID? You are literally a person that we have absolutely no records of. Anywhere. Just a man. But yeah, by that time the Avatar's already gone. And he's not coming back, so it won't matter. Ultima, along with Wizardry and a few other series of games, are, or were, the last great, like, settings where sci-fi and fantasy were blurred together like they were in the 70s and 80s. Where they're just things that exist together and it's accepted. Might and Magic is another one too. Final Fantasy, not quite in the same way. Also, Might and Magic is later, because Might and Magic is an 80s series. Like a mid-80s series. Like, sci-fi is very much a part of, like, an intrinsic part of Might and Magic. Would you welcome a reboot of Ultima if it ever to happen? It would be a very unusual thing to happen, and I don't know how it would work. It sounds weird, but I don't know how it would work. I think a lot of what made Ultima work was the fact that it was a forerunner of its genre, and it was from that time where you mix these things together and it was just zany and odd. Also, the thing is that Ultima has a lot of pedigree in terms of history, but it doesn't have a massive amount of pedigree when it comes to, like, interest in the future of the setting. The last Ultima game was a very long time ago, that was made by Origin. And the last 3 games that were made with the Ultima license... no, I did not, Suplex. Not really. Because the last 3 games made with the Ultima license were the free-to-play mobile game Ultima Forever by EA, which had every single character in the Ultima series except Lord British, because Richard Garriott still owned the right to Lord British, so it was Lady British, and that game is now shut down. Shroud of the Avatar, which went the way that Shroud of the Avatar went. I think it's still active, but it did not turn out how people wanted it to. And Underworld Ascendant, which is the spiritual successor to Ultima Underworld, and it was something I kickstarted and have never played because the reviews came in for it and they were pretty shocking. It was apparently not a great game. So the only games that have recently come out for... well, not, I even say recent. The most recent Ultima games were a free-to-play mobile game that's dead, a MMO-like game that is not doing well at all, and a spiritual successor to Ultima Underworld, which was quite heavily panned when it came out. Ultima Online is still active. That is the one exception. It is still active. Yes, Ultima Online is, but it's also incredibly old. Kudos to Ultima Online for still being active, but the most recent games are that. We'll do one more run. If a new Ultima game was released, I would be cautiously optimistic, but very, very reserved in my hype. I would wait to see results. I would wait to see results before doing anything. What time are we on? Well, it is approaching the time where I will want to rest up. GOG. GOG is the way to do it. Just buy it off GOG. It'll just run. No, it's not. It's because a lot of time has passed, and I think it would be difficult now to... Oh, floating feet. Difficult now to come up with a way to rebrand Ultima in a way that is both successful and doesn't completely trample over what made Ultima great. Ultima is nostalgic. Ultima is a nostalgically old game, and nostalgia is notoriously difficult to snatch up in a bottle and put into a new entry. Like, you're either just making the same thing over again, which you don't need to, because it doesn't exist, like it already exists, or you're changing things to such a point that you're at danger of making something completely different that isn't the same thing. It's very difficult. He did say he wanted to do it, but whether he can do it or not, as in whether he'll get the rights back to it, and whether even if he gets the right back to it, it will happen, remains to be seen. Yeah, Ultima 9 was released 27 years ago. Remember that. Ultima 9 was released 27 years ago, enough that nearly 2 generations, like one and most of a generation has passed, of people, let alone video game consoles. There are people now who are 26 who have never known a world that the entire Ultima series in the mainline games has not existed. Like, I would love for Ultima to get, you know, a new lease of life and loads of people to get back into it, but I have to be grounded and realistic in the fact that it would be incredibly difficult, I think, to make it work. It has, but it's also weird in the sense that, one, it's a strategy game and not an RPG. And two, we all know what's going to happen with Enroth, is the problem. I know, my partner's looking at me now. We all know what's going to happen with Enroth, and that it's going to blow up. So just remember that. Enroth is going to explode. Like, all the Heroes of Might and Magic games are not going to change that Enroth is going to blow up after the 2 magic blades in that Heroes of Might and Magic game clash. Enroth goes boom. There you go, Crazy Omen. I'm glad I could teach you about it. But I'm glad the Olden Age one is doing so well. I'm glad it's succeeded in revitalizing that genre. Not a genre I ever played. Never played the Heroes of Might and Magic games. They'd have to do that, Lord Canis, wouldn't they? They would. But you know what time it is, though, folks? That is correct. Yeah, GOG is great. VOD is absolutely great. It is time for me to thank you all for being here, folks. I'm going to do my outro quickly because it's being looked at by a partner going, end the stream, and it's like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. We shall raid old. No problem. No problem. I'm glad you enjoyed the second little stream here. And glad to have a chance to catch this part. Well, I'm glad you were all here. As I rambled about stuff and video games and all kinds of thingy-mabobs, and we got more Tight Night chunks for next Friday. Some people are going to be incredibly confused. But that's alright. No plot was had. That's the important thing. There's a couple of things here we can talk about, though, and I will talk about them quickly before we... Hey! Thank you very much, Observer Watcher. That's incredibly kind of you. That's 500 bits. Thank you. I hope I feel better soon, too. I'm getting there. I don't think it'll be too much longer now. A couple of things here we can talk about before we conclude, though. Thank you, Soaring Trumpet. No problem. And I'll talk about it quickly. First off, there is that website, kikoskia.com. Check out all kinds of things. Schedule, and links to where you could buy my book and all kinds of other stuff. There's also my Discord. Join a large time community there, which I'm often a part of. Loads of places to talk about stuff, loads of mods, let's play some streams past and present. If you link your Twitch and Discord together and you sub to your Twitch, you can use the Twitter modes and Discord, which is fantastic. There's also the Patreon. There you can pledge to support me in doing what I do. Nothing Let's Play stream wise here behind paywalls. A lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes you typically don't see. The editing, compression, test streams, test recordings, and everything makes all what I do a reality. And in these times with the mortgage, bills, food, and cats, and all that jazz, I rely now more than ever on the people that pledge to me to make all what I do a reality. But remember, never put money towards me you cannot afford to do so, folks. Don't put yourself in a dire financial strait just to help me out. Always make sure you spend your money first on the essential purchases you need to, so that your life is all solidly squared away and sorted. And if you have any money left over that you want to put my way, it is greatly appreciated. Eagerly await society. Yeah. I appreciate it. I have prodded Cav about that. Cav has been prodded again. And after Sword Saga 2, Sword Saga 3. But those of you that do pledge, even if it's just $1, because, you know, if enough people pledge $1, it goes a long, long way. Not only get a different code name and Discord and even sincere thanks, you also get the ability to put suggestion forward for the Patreon shortlisted votes. There's also other ways you can support me, like the YouTube channels. Kikoskia, the 18-and-a-half-year-old 11,500 plus video Let's Play channel. I'm so old. And Kick Vodskia, the newer VOD focus channel. If you want to help those channels grow, you can do so by liking and commenting on videos, subbing if you're not subbed. If you are subbed, press that bell for those notifications. There's also the social media accounts, Twitter, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Discord, the community tabs on YouTube. There you can get notifications on when I start streaming and when Let's Play videos go live and all kinds of random other stuff. Finally, there is the Throne Wishlist. There you can put money towards things that bring me joy. Right now, there are a number of things on there. There are models for the Marines Extreme and Avatars Resplendent. There's also basic material for the Marines Extreme, and also a model for the Amazing Digital Circus. It's Kane, the ringmaster of the circus. What a fine chap. Definitely nothing wrong with that guy. Nope, it's all fine. Finally, there is me thanking all of you for being here, because seriously, you are all amazing, fantastic, brilliant and wonderful, and I couldn't do what I do without you, and I wouldn't want to do what I do without you. Because you are the reason this stuff can exist, the reason I can play Dark Souls 2 to entertain you all, and RimWorld, and the reason I can subject you to Ultima 7 for the Super Nintendo next week. If this is something you all want to see, it's something I'll throw at you. And you'll regret it. And I'll regret it. We'll regret it together. We'll regret it together, folks. It'll be one of the experiences of all time. One of them. Why am I doing this to myself? And you? We'll find out next time. But remember, folks, you're all just wonderful, and with your continued support, watching my content on YouTube and Twitch, Patreon, Throne, direct donations, Twitch subs, Twitch bits, everything else, as long as it keeps bouncing the books, what I do, I'll keep doing this for many, many years to come, as many years as is possible. So thank you all, folks, ever so much. Seriously, everyone, thank you. Thank you so much, thank you. And whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you achieve everything you set out to do. The next stream, by the way, that is tomorrow. That'll be at 2 PM BST. It'll be Animal Crossing New Horizons. They'll be adorable, they'll be silly, and hopefully I'll be feeling even better than I am today. It's all on the up. Everything's all on the up. Everything's coming up, not Millhouse, because I'm not Millhouse. But it could be coming up Millhouse as well. And I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. But remember, be nice to each other, everyone, for if everyone is nice to each other, the world would be that much better a place. And we all want that, don't we? Well, I certainly do. And I hope you do too. Later. And thanks again, everyone. Seriously, thanks again. You all rock. Not like the rocks we got while we were going to fight those monsters. They'll be used for upgrading my stuff. That they will. That they will. Later.